Caroline Rhea recently shared an unexpected and personal revelation she experienced while watching old episodes of Sabrina, the Teenage Witch on a flight. Best known for her role as the hilariously quirky Aunt Hilda, Rhea found herself revisiting her own past with a fresh perspective thousands of feet in the air. The actress, now in her 60s, had boarded the flight intending to catch up on sleep. But when she saw that the in-flight entertainment included Sabrina, curiosity got the better of her. She clicked play, expecting a nostalgic trip down memory lane. Instead, she was met with a wave of emotion and introspection that caught her completely off guard. As she watched her younger self on screen, donning outrageous outfits, delivering sarcastic one-liners, and serving up magical mischief, Rhea said she suddenly saw more than just a character. "I realized I was watching a version of myself I hadn't really appreciated at the time," she explained. "I was funny, bold, and completely unfiltered. I didn't realize how much I was hiding that side of me in real life." The revelation struck her deeply. She admitted that while she had always loved playing Aunt Hilda, she hadn't always embraced what the character reflected about her own identity. "Back then, I thought I was just playing a wacky role," she said. "But now I see that Hilda was my superpower. She was confident, she was herself, and she never apologized for it. That's what I was missing in my own life for a long time." Rhea revealed that for years after Sabrina ended, she tried to downplay that chapter, attempting to be taken seriously as an actress and comedian outside of the magical sitcom's shadow. But watching herself laugh, yell, and plot with Aunt Zelda again reminded her how much of her authentic self had lived in that character. She also spoke about how her experience on the flight made her reflect on the ways women, particularly in entertainment, are often encouraged to tone themselves down or fit into a mold. "I had internalized so many voices telling me to be softer, quieter, less weird. But Hilda was none of those things, and people loved her for it. That told me something." The moment inspired her to embrace that unapologetic side more fully in her everyday life. She joked that she's now a little more Hilda at the grocery store, more Hilda when she's negotiating projects, and more Hilda when she's just being herself. "It's freeing. I don't need a spell book or a talking cat to remind me of who I am anymore." The trip down memory lane didn't just stir emotions, it also sparked ideas. Rhea hinted that she's working on new material that reflects this shift in self-perception. Though she remained tight-lipped about the details, she teased that it will be fun, magical in its own way, and definitely more Hilda-esque than fans have seen in a long time. The flight episode also had her texting her old co-stars, including Melissa Joan Hart. She laughed as she recalled writing, "Why didn't you tell me I was brilliant?" to Hart mid-flight. The two remain close friends, and Rhea shared that they often reminisce about their time on the show with a mix of gratitude and disbelief. "It was such a crazy, creative time. And honestly, I don't think I gave myself enough credit for what I brought to that role." For fans who grew up with Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Aunt Hilda was a constant source of chaos and comic relief. But for Rhea, she now represents something much deeper, a mirror into who she was and who she still is. "That character was bigger than the punchlines and the pratfalls," she said. "She was me, unfiltered, and that's someone I'm proud to know again." As she continues to reflect on her long career in comedy and acting, Caroline Rhea says she's finally understanding the true impact of her work, not just on audiences, but on herself. The unexpected moment of clarity at 35,000 feet reminded her that sometimes looking back is the best way to move forward. Since that flight, Rhea says she's made it a point to revisit more of her past work, not just Sabrina, but her stand-up specials and early TV appearances. "I used to cringe watching myself," she admitted. "Now I watch with compassion. I see a woman doing her best, making people laugh, and showing up fully, even when she didn't feel like enough." She's even begun incorporating those revelations into her comedy routines, telling audiences stories about self-acceptance, the magic of aging, and the unexpected wisdom that comes from rewatching your sitcom past at cruising altitude. It turns out, she joked in a recent show, "The real spell was self-esteem, and I didn't need a wand for that." With renewed clarity and a playful sense of purpose, Rhea seems to be embracing her career, and herself, with more joy than ever. And for longtime fans, it's a reminder that sometimes the characters we love most are just waiting to lead us back to ourselves.